A7R Mark IV was announced. I'm coming a little late to this video. I wanted to take some time to get to know the specs and what everyone was saying about this camera before I spoke about it. But A7R Mark IV, sure, that's the question, but what is the real question? Real question is, what happened to the A7S Mark III? Here we go. Behind you with like the clouds, the sky and everything, and still be able to see. We've got the Rode video mic. Here we go. M50. What do you guys think? Hey, Magnus here, and I mostly talk about cameras for video, tips, tricks, and of course conversation like what we're having today regarding the A7R Mark IV and it being announced. But what about the A7S Mark III? Getting to the point, if you don't know, Sony announced a new full-frame professional camera, the A7R Mark IV, and this has a lot of specs. It's mostly for photographers. The R series has been a camera that has been geared towards high resolution, great quality image from a full-frame sensor, mostly for photographers. But from a video perspective, the S series for a long time has been that go-to camera that you just take for video. I'm holding a Canon camera. I don't know why. I just felt like holding a camera and talking. Anyway, so the A7S series, A7S, A7S Mark II, A7S Mark III never came, but those cameras have been geared more towards video. So less megapixels, better low light performance, amongst other video features. Now the A7 III and the A7R III were the last two cameras from Sony to come out, but there was no A7S III. So then the A7R Mark IV was announced without ever announcing an A7S III. Now a couple of the new features in the A7R Mark IV is that it's the highest resolution full frame camera in the market today, 61 megapixels. Along with that, you've got better autofocus performance. You've also got focus stacking that lets you actually create images as long as it's not moving at a crazy high resolution. It's great for photos. 10 frames per second when taking pictures. Now one would think that those are compressed, but then let's talk about the video portion. The video was not really talked about. It was kind of skimmed over. So it's 4K video on this camera, which the last few cameras have been able to do 4K video for Sony, and that's nothing new or impressive. So full frame 4K video, awesome. And it's also got eye detect autofocus for video, which that's a new feature, which is pretty interesting. So I like that. And that was about it. Besides their hot shoe microphone that you could just put on the top and it'll work, which is kind of reminiscent of the GH5 that has something like that. But on the Sony's perspective, it's the full microphone hookup, digital to analog connection. So great, fine. You've got some video features. Nobody expects to be blown away with like 60 frames per second, 4K full frame. I don't expect it to be blown away with 10-bit 422 color. It's probably going to stick to 8-bit 420 like the previous Sony cameras. Maybe they might push the bits per second at 150 megabits per second up from the abysmal 100 megabits per second for 4K recording. But who knows? I don't know. But then, fine. That's what we're getting. But what about the A7S Mark III? I think that Sony had its reasons for not doing that. The A7S Mark III would have kind of been overkill from the camera's perspective when the A7 III was doing so well for video performers. And that actually had a good reputation in the video industry comparably to other cameras such as the Canon EOS R and other competitors. So why make an A7S Mark III, then an A7R Mark IV to further diversify their cameras and really just flood the market with too many? Also, There have been rumors that the next A7S camera would have like 8K video and a ton of other video features, 60 frames per second, possibly 4K, if not more, which would have blown anything from Panasonic out of the water at this point. Is that really necessary at this point when we're still trying to fully adopt 4K? I record all of my videos in 4K. I do some 1080, but I up-res everything in 4K because I'm ready for it, and if my audience is ready for it, I want to deliver it to them. But we're still playing catch up to there. And I don't know if any of you have 8K televisions. So 8K's only benefit right now is the fact that you can crop in on your footage and get multiple angles. But is that really worth spending that much money on? I don't know. It's up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, the A7S III was probably not needed in today's market. And that's why we have the A7R IV, which is presumably, and I didn't get to test it, but I looked it up online just like all of us. The A7R IV will probably be a great photography camera and just another video camera. So if you're into video, at least right now initially, it's not going to impress you. And there might be better options out there for you. Besides that awesome eye detect video autofocus, that actually catches my attention. And I know they say they have 15 stops of dynamic range, but I believe in video it might be down to 14 stops. Still incredible, still impressive. I think dynamic range is almost everything you need to really make a cinematic looking shot. But is it enough? For me personally, no. But maybe it's different for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, like, share, and you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out trying to recover from a cold. Still holding a Canon camera. Take a picture. Ugh. Had it on video mode. There you go. See you later.